Olimar hasn't woken up since we brought him aboard. Hey, I know that spacesuit. It puts you into a deep sleep if you experience any big surprises. I missed an entire surprise birthday party once because of those suits. What are we supposed to do now? Would you mind keeping it down? Unfortunately, there's nothing we can do. We need to get him to tell us where the cosmic drive key is. And in order for him to do that, we need him to wake up on his own. Let me try slapping him. No, trust me. We can't do anything once that suit kicks in. We just need to keep an eye on him. What was that noise? Where did this ground come from? Why aren't we in the air? I can't even take a quick snooze without something going haywire. This is bad. Olimar's disappeared. And your rubber ducky has also gone AWOL, Captain. What did you say? It's even worse than that. He's run off with our juice. That villainous pig. We need to hunt him down. Welcome back to more Pikmin 3 Deluxe. Last time we saved the Hocotatian, so this time he's escaped with all of our supplies. For today, we're immediately thrown into the Garden of Hope, so let's take out 50 winged Pikmin and 20 rock Pikmin. Once again, I'm leaving a little bit of room in our squad for something later. Also, now you know why I left this fruit here after the Armored Comrade fight, since we're back down to 0 juices left. Let's follow Olimar through this path. There's a path. Our food must be this way. I will not let him escape. We'll have the rock Pikmin work on the wall, and we want to investigate this over here. What is that thing? Let's have the winged Pikmin pull this out of the ground. A new type of Pikmin sprouted from the onion that was in the water. This Pikmin seems right at home underwater. And after everything, we finally have blue Pikmin. Once again, they are the last Pikmin type to actually join, which is kind of unfortunate for reasons I'll talk about a little bit later. Obviously, we can't carry back that 5 pellet quite yet, so let's toss Charlie and Alf over here to round up the rock Pikmin for later, and over here we also have a dwarf bulborb and some bridge pieces, so we'll work on this while Brittany tries to round up some blue Pikmin. This day is actually kind of unusual because it's one of the only days where you actually start out in control of Brittany instead of Alf. The other day I can think of is the first day in the distant tundra when you start out in the cave with the yellow Pikmin. So let's carry back this blue pellet. In the meantime, we also want to have the other captains and the winged Pikmin work on excavating a few things for the blue Pikmin to carry back. So, by the way, these are called fluke weeds. In the Wii U version, when you locked onto enemies and certain plants, there would actually be a specific heads-up display for locking on, and it would actually show the name of anything you're locking on to. So, unfortunately, that is absent in Pikmin 3 Deluxe. That is definitely one change I don't like, because again, the heads-up display for that is actually pretty nice, and again, it does tell you the names of a lot of enemies and other foliage on PNF 404. Now that that's over there, we'll swap over to have the blue Pikmin carry this back. Basically for today, we want to build up our blue Pikmin numbers to a relatively decent amount. We don't need a ton of blue Pikmin actually. Again, I'll talk more about that later on. I definitely have a lot of thoughts about the blue Pikmin's implementation in Pikmin 3, but again, I'll save that for another time. I'm also really hoping that the other Pikmin don't try to help, because they would have to go into water. But I think they were actually in a squad with the other captains, so that wasn't actually going to be a problem. Now that we have a fair amount of blue Pikmin, I think it's time to fight some underwater enemies. Over here, we have an enemy called a Spuddlefish. It attacks by spewing ink that will cause Pikmin to panic. You'll have to whistle them if that happens, but in general, they don't have much health, so typically I find that you end up defeating them before they even get a chance to attack. Once we have about 30 or so blue Pikmin, we also want to fight these other enemies in the water. They're actually kind of annoying, because trying to fight enemies in large numbers is actually really frustrating in Pikmin 3 specifically, again, because of how locking on works, and again, in the Wii U version, especially if you're using motion controls, I do feel like quickly aiming at different targets is a lot simpler than in this version. So yeah, the other Pikmin are also working on a pellet. I'm trying to keep an eye on that so they don't take it back all the way, because I'd really like the blue Pikmin to have that. With our 23 blue Pikmin, I think it's time to fight these enemies. These are called Puckering Balinos, if I'm not mistaken. Basically, you want to charge your blue Pikmin at them, and blue Pikmin can actually swim up at them, which is nice. They can eat Pikmin really fast, so make sure to take them out as quickly as possible. With those out of the way, we also have a fruit in the water. We'll carry back a couple of these to build up our numbers a little bit more, and in the meantime, we'll have the blue Pikmin also work on this other half of the bridge. We want to swap over to Charlie and Alf's group, and there's actually a few things we can do with the winged Pikmin while we're waiting for the blue Pikmin to finish up that other task. What's this? We will find out shortly, but over here we actually have a mini-boss. This is a bug-eyed Crawmad. As the name implies, it kind of attacks like a hermit Crawmad, but obviously it's a lot larger, and you basically have to attack its eye stalks to get it to flip over. One thing I actually really like about fighting these with winged Pikmin is, basically because they're already in the air, they actually will lock onto its stomach really quickly, so you won't even have to call them back and start throwing Pikmin again. Again, you do have to go after its eyes first, and then attack its underside, but overall, you're not overly threatening if you have a large group of winged Pikmin. Again, fighting enemies with winged Pikmin is not optimal, just because they are a little bit weaker, so if you have a lot of winged Pikmin, that can definitely make up the difference in strength there. With the bug-eyed Crawmad, I want to carry it part of the way once again, to have the blue Pikmin carry it back. So these pieces are building up this thing in the center of this area. With the winged Pikmin, we also have a couple of fruits we can get. One is actually very dangerous at the moment because of the other Balinos in the area, but this one actually isn't a problem. You're supposed to actually toss them from up here once this is built, but alternatively, you can simply have the winged Pikmin charge at the fluke weed over there. So again, with the winged Pikmin, you can often break some of the intended game design using the charge mechanics. So yeah, in general, the winged Pikmin are very effective at a lot of tasks, so we'll actually have them drop this off. They'll probably drop off both, but that's fine. We'll swap over to Brittany once again and take this back. In actuality, with this enemy, we probably won't need that many more blue Pikmin. Again, I'll talk more about this in the future, but it is interesting how much blue Pikmin tend to be the last Pikmin type to actually join. That was the case in Pikmin 1, which wasn't as notable because there were only 3 types of Pikmin, but it especially stands out in Pikmin 2, when you have 5 types, and also Pikmin 3, where, once again, you have 5 types of Pikmin to worry about. Now that the bridge is built, we'll have the rock Pikmin. Actually, no. We want to have the blue Pikmin fight this enemy. This is a Waddlepus. Basically, once we start attacking it, it will inflate like that, so we want to charge Pikmin at it. I'm pretty sure the bubbles here don't actually kill Pikmin, but just to be on the safe side, I did fight it with the blue Pikmin, and also we have this little, like, tin over here that we can move as soon as we pop all these bubbles. We have another fruit in the water and a data file, but we don't want to collect that right away because we have a lot to deal with. Basically, we have more of the Blennos over here, so I want to fight all of these first. So it looks like there's 5. If you can kind of lure them away from each other, that's the best case scenario, but if you have to fight them in a group, just make sure to defeat them quickly before they have a chance to actually swallow the Pikmin they're trying to eat. You do have a fairly generous timing window to actually save the Pikmin from these, so it's not overly dangerous, but it's still worth keeping in mind. So Alpha and Charlie are in separate groups at the moment, which is actually nice, because I want to have Charlie go over here because there's a fruit indicated by the star, and with the rock Pikmin and the other flying Pikmin, or winged Pikmin, we'll go over here with Alpha. We also have this fruit in the water that we can safely transport back now, and we have a few more of the little pieces to build the little structure over by the other side of this little pond area. I am not sure if we have enough blue Pikmin for this, actually. We definitely still have quite a few in the onion still, but I'm kind of wondering if I should actually stop and get some more. 22 should be enough in theory, but it might take a little bit longer. So Charlie and Alf are both in position. We have another one of these little spittlefishes over here. We actually have 2. Again, these are actually not a threat whatsoever. And again, especially with blue Pikmin, this is not difficult at all. We have another Waddlepus here. Once again, we want to basically get it to puff up and then try to attack it like so. And once it's out of the way, we can start working on this wall. The bubbles will pop automatically, by the way, just over time. So yeah, once we got through this wall, we actually were on the other side of this area before. It's actually where the yellow Wollywogs were in this area. In the meantime, let's have the rock Pikmin carry this back. You can actually get a lot of fruits here early on. It's actually really nice how much you're able to actually collect early on. And also, I want to actually round up one more set of spicy spray. Again, 2, in theory, should be enough for what we're going to do next time, but I definitely want to be on the safe side. We have another board to lift up with the winged Pikmin, and hence the radar. We do have a fruit inside here. So yeah, they actually give you a ton of fruits here, which makes a lot of sense because you go from whatever number you had, which is probably at least in the double digits by now, and you go to a grand total of 0. So actually having a lot of opportunities to build up your supply again is really, really nice. So the wall should be almost done. There we go. And we have this Toady Bloister that we saw before that we didn't actually get to fight. Similar to the Sputtlfish, it actually has an ink attack. You basically just have to whistle to save the Pikmin. It's not difficult at all. And once this is defeated, we'll take this back as well to bolster our blue Pikmin numbers a little bit more, and we'll also work on collecting the final set of these pieces here. So yeah, this is a very hectic day actually to accomplish everything, and we still have quite a bit left to do to actually find Olimar, and hopefully we'll be able to next time without too much difficulty. Truth be told, the next day is the most scary day in Pikmin 3 in terms of like a deathless run. On a casual run it's not bad, but in a deathless run, this next section is actually really worrisome, so I am not exactly bursting with confidence about how well this is going to go, unfortunately. We have a little bit of time left, so we might as well carry back a few things. This will be built, and we'll see what we can do with this next time. It looks like we can basically toss Pikmin across. And again, what you're supposed to do with this little flukeweed on this cliff is you're supposed to actually toss winged Pikmin and a captain over here, but again, it's actually really easy to just charge winged Pikmin from up there. It is fascinating how much you can actually break in Pikmin 3 in particular. I almost feel like because you have winged Pikmin, for example, there's a lot you can do that is not intended whatsoever, but is actually very effective. We also have this wall here, by the way. There's like no reason to actually break the wall, so I'll just leave that. There's also a data file in the water. I hope I didn't leave too many other data files around, to be honest. I am trying to get all the data files, and I do plan to show them at some point in the playthrough. So yeah, I'm just doing a very quick check to make sure I didn't actually forget any data files anywhere else. I think we're good to go, unless there's some back over here, but I think we're fine. So yeah, we even got another bit of spicy spray in our time remaining. The blue Pikmin should almost be back, so right on time actually, we should be getting to the final few seconds of the day before too long actually. Once this is taken care of, I actually want to check our numbers just to see how many blue Pikmin we have. More than likely we will have enough, but just to make sure, and it'll kind of influence what we do tomorrow. Yeah, we have over 50. That's actually more than we really need, believe it or not. And again, I'll talk about that a little bit more later. But yeah, we've basically cleared a path almost to Olimar's location, and we'll continue looking for him tomorrow. It's increased in size again. You don't think the Drake could get absorbed too, do you? No, I don't think there's any danger of that. Well, probably not, hopefully. I can't wait to taste the new fruit. Just think of how much juice we had this time yesterday. Curse that Hocotatian! It's good to build a juice supply like this. We should be alright for a little while. So, we managed to actually build up our juice supply back up from 0, and we raised quite a few blue Pikmin actually. We almost got to 100, which is very nice. I'll be honest, this might be the day that would most benefit from co-op in Pikmin 3 Deluxe. Given that you have to raise a bunch of blue Pikmin and clear out a bunch of obstacles that require blue Pikmin, while there's also a ton of stuff that requires winged Pikmin and rock Pikmin, actually having 2 players would trivialize this day quite a bit, because you could have one person focus on the blue Pikmin tasks and the other player focus on the other tasks. So yeah, this game definitely feels like it wasn't entirely designed with co-op at times because of how much that would actually speed up a lot of processes on this day in particular. The blue onion was only able to produce a single blue Pikmin. I wonder if that took its last bit of strength. Thank goodness we were able to dig the onion out. The blue Pikmin may very well have been on the verge of extinction. With the addition of these blue Pikmin, we can now confirm that there are 5 varieties of Pikmin. Based on the trends we've seen, Pikmin appear to evolve in ways that suit their surroundings. That would explain how they can handle different environments. Our real struggle has only just begun. Under our command, just how far can this army of You two talk too much. Let's go! We have a very stressful day ahead of us tomorrow, as we continue to look for Olimar. So thank you for watching, and I hope you'll join me next time for more Pikmin 3 Deluxe.